Hey guys, as you can see, I have a whole new look and I can't wait to take you step by step on how I created this wig. Yes, that's right, this is a wig, so stay tuned.
As we proceed to give you what you need.
This is how the closure originally came to me, in a natural dark brown. Alright, so I did quite a few different coloring processes to this lace closure, but these should explain it. And if you have any other questions, I also have another video where I show some of these steps, so I just didn't want to be redundant and show them over. Alright, so I've already broken the base on my lace closure. Now I'm about to apply my first set of highlights. I am applying my highlights with a slicing method using foil, and I am using a high level blonde. You can use any blonde that you want, Faria, anything that is going to give you a bright blonde. Okay, as you can see, I just did a motion with my brush where I held it on its side, and I'm basically going closer to the root down into the majority of color. This is going to eliminate that line of demarcation where it's a blunt straight line of dark and then the color starts. It's going to give it a more natural effect. You really want to make sure the hair is saturated inside the foil. I'm going to go ahead and fold that up, fold the ends over, and repeat all the way through my lace closure. Now for this, I am basically just softening some of that dark or light reddish dark blonde hair that I left out. I really don't want that coppery reddish look in this install, so I'm just going in and softening that up with some of the hair color. I'm doing it last because I don't want it to be on as long, and I don't necessarily want it to be as bright as the other highlights, but I'm just softening it. I'm repeating the same steps on the next side. Now I'm just going to simply put a shower cap over all the foils because the heat will allow the color to lift quicker. I did a second step of highlights in which I just used Bleaching Developer. I have a video on that. I will put the link in the description box and you can see how that was done. Now, here's how I like to set my parts in my lace closures. I've seen a lot of people do a lot of different things, but with this closure, I did not have to bleach the knots. I did not have to tweeze. All I had to do was basically comb it and let it air dry, and it was set. Say hi, Garrison. All right, so I have about 7 cornrows in my hair. I'm going to simply take each one of these loose ends and crisscross them in the back of my head and pull them up to the front of my head on the inside of the cornrow. I'm basically going to pin all of my tails up along the cornrow part of the braid, and then I'm going to secure them with a bobby pin until I get my needle and thread out, and I secure them with a needle and thread. With my stitching done, I'm going to simply remove my bobby pins that I use to secure down each one of my loose ends. As you can see, this braid style is very quick and it works, so that's what I'm going with. I'm gonna simply place my custom weave cap on my head and really get it like as snug as a bug here. I mean, I am pulling these strings as hard as I possibly can. You don't want it to be loose at all because we're about to do some measuring. Alright, with my lace closure, I am going to measure out exactly how it would fit on my head. I'm going to simply use an e.l.f. I think it's an eyeliner in milk or something like that, and anything that you can use that's going to show up on the black. And I'm basically just lining the perimeter of the lace cap and how it's going to fit on this wig. It's very important that you put the wig cap on as tight as possible for this portion of making this unit. I'm now outlining the perimeter of where my hairline actually stops, and you'll see why in 1 second. Alright, so we are now filling in what was left out that I didn't mark when I had the cap on, and I'm simply folding back the front of the cap. I did a double fold to really make sure that I have a good amount of material to keep my stitching secure so nothing rips through. Alright, I'm going to simply start stitching the lace cap closure onto the weaving cap. Now, the stitching technique that I'm using is very simple. I put the needle through and I take the string from the tail of the needle and I loop it over the front of the needle. This assures me a very straight line in my thread, and this is important when you go to cut the cap away from the lace closure. You want to make sure that you have the most sturdy stitch that you possibly can, and I find that this stitch works. It doesn't matter what type of material of cap I stitch to, it always stays stitched. It doesn't rip, it stays nice and secure. Now that my lace closure is secure to the wig cap, I'm going to move it over to my styrofoam head. On the styrofoam head, I'm able to take my straight pins and really pull the wig cap taut and keep it that way by pinning it into the styrofoam. That's why I switched over from the regular mannequin head over to this wig styrofoam head. A tip that I find when I make these wigs, U-part wigs, anything like that, when you're stitching, you really want to make sure that you have your wig cap pulled as tight as possible. That way while you're stitching, you're not going to pull it tight and cause it to go smaller and smaller with each row of tracks or wefts that you put on. As you can see, as you've seen in many of my other videos, I am going to do the fold over method until I get to the top, where I'm basically just going to stitch my last weft right up to the stitching that I did for the lace closure. Now, I repurposed this hair that I'm sewing in right now from a previous blonde U-part wig that I made and also filmed here on YouTube. The only things that I did to the hair this time was, of course, remove them from the old unit that I made, and I added a few. As you can see here, I stitched right up to where my lace closure was stitched, and I mean, it's undetectable. You cannot see where the lace closure starts and ends, as well as you can't see where the wefts start and end. Now I am going to remove the wig cap from underneath the lace closure. You want to be very careful here not to cut where you stitched, because then it will unravel. So you want to make sure that you cut outside of where you stitched. Alright, time for me to add my combs. I'm going to use one of the large combs in the nape of the wig, and then 3 small combs around the front perimeter of my hairline. And yes, I'm even going to stitch into the lace. I'm sorry I don't have footage of that. I thought I was recording and for some reason something happened with my camera, but I will show you where I stitched them. And here are the 3 combs in the front. Well, those are the first 2, the one in the nape, and then here's the other one that goes kind of close to my ear. With a quick flat iron, 1 pass is all it took on this hair. I mean, with all the processing I did, I can't believe how incredibly healthy this hair is. It's extremely shiny, and I mean, it's just really healthy. You guys, I cannot explain to you the ease it was using this uni wig lace closure. I just can't get over the fact that I did not have to bleach the knots. I did not have to do anything, no tweezing, no nothing, and it was ready to go. As you can see, the extra lace has been cut off. I cut it right up to the hairline of the lace closure. I know you guys were probably wondering what I was going to do with the excess elastic from the size adjusting straps. I simply tied a knot and I'm going to cut off the excess. Now, I'm so excited. It's finally time to put on my wig. I could not get over how easy it was to do with the combs. I simply put one side in and then I pulled the other side to get the lace closure in the front to lay as taut as possible. And then I just simply put the rest of my combs into my braids. That is one of the reasons why I chose to do larger braids. I didn't want to do taut braids because the combs going in and out of them, I did not want to cause any breakage or damage to my natural hair. You guys, I cannot get over how accomplished I feel making this. It literally took me 4 days to get it exactly how I wanted to get it, but it's so worth it. I can take this off at night and put it on in the morning. So don't talk yourself out of doing something that could really save you a ton of money and be awesome for you. Like, it doesn't matter how long it takes for you to complete it. It just means doing it. So don't be afraid. Get out there, try. You don't even have to do color. Imagine how easy this would be if I would have just left the closure the way it came. So I will have the link in the description box for the closure, which I got from Uni Wigs, and I got the hair from Hairland LLC, and I just took my time. I mean, if I had to cut hair out and put it back in, I did that, and I couldn't be more happy with this. So go for it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. If you go to uniwigs.com and you check out and you have products in your cart over $300, you can get minus $40 using the checkout code Maria.